BRANDSPARK's annual rankings show that Walmart's #1 in bricks and mortar, but Amazon takes, what, 15 of the 23 categories in e-commerce? I suppose the big question is how do we respond to that big Amazon threat?
Well, it's a runaway train. I mean, their banks are overflowing with both ambition and the fact that they're drowning a lot of businesses on the way. Every time they say, I'm going into a new category, what happens? The stock market crashes all around them because they know this Amazon Prime, once they get you hooked on it, once they get you involved with it, they can say, how can I seduce you into yet another category? 15 out of 23 for a company that's not that old is remarkable.
Okay, so you've got 5 words that help us fight that Amazon effect. Insight, experience, heart, transformation, and fly fish? What's fly fish?
Well, first of all, fly fish is, even if you're a big mass retailer, you need to now personalize your offering. Instead of that big drift net, one size fits all, Bay Day, we're having a sale, you got to start now saying, what bait am I going to put on my hook to get Michael to come into my store? Because I know what he likes, what he wants. So instead of offering you, hey, women's shoes are on sale, it doesn't relate to you. He's going to say, I'm going to go after a sharp dressed guy. I'm going to start just focusing on that in terms of my offering.
And that's that big data that comes with us shopping at any given location at any given time.
Big data comes from loyalty cards, but more importantly, also the ability to do media that's electronic that says I can reach you and fish where you're fishing.
Which brings us back to your first point, insights.
Yeah. Insights is everything. You know, it's no longer about the mass brand. It's about me, my life, and my livelihood. Understand me from my head, heart, and hand, how the consumer thinks, how they feel, and how they behave. If you want to be unique, you have to be unique in places that matter. You have to know, for example, that I have 2 daughters. One lives in London and one lives in New York. Start thinking about me from that point of view as opposed to going, I'm a department store that sells a lot of stuff.
And it's the technology of the day that makes it possible to be that granular when it comes to targeting a demographic.
It's both left brain and right brain. You need the analytics, but you also need the anthropology, sociologists, the psychologists to start understanding how humans are wired. For example, a lot of people love treasure hunt. Guess what? Dollarama, affordable treasure hunt, fastest growing retail category out there. It's the only one that's ever put a dent in Walmart until Amazon came along.
What of the user experience?
User experience. So I'm bricks. I just want to make sure my store looks good, it's clean, the bathrooms are nice. User experience for consumers every touch point. If I'm going online to search you, if I'm buying from you, mobile, your loyalty program, everything has to be frictionless, effortless. It has to be right up to what I expect nowadays. I put a card in an ATM machine, I get cash. I go onto your site, I want the same level of service.
Maybe I'm just too cynical, but telling a company that they need to have heart strikes me as a difficult proposition.
Only way you're going to counter Amazon, Amazon's faster, better, and cheaper, but what Amazon doesn't have is heart. What Amazon is, it's a machine. So if you want to be a retailer, you want to counter Amazon, dial up your heart. Make sure that you're bringing personality and humanity into your brand. Show that there's real people at your store when they walk in and they're excited. They're not on their cell phones bored. They're involved with the entire stage. They're actors that are bringing your retail to life.
How do you go about that? Because most people who find themselves in a retail environment are often just kids working their way through school. They don't have any skin in the game for their boss.
You have to get them involved in a much bigger story. The story is not about a transition of taking your money and you're out of the store. It's about a transformation. For example, you come in and you say, I'm looking for a tie. Oh, they're over there. But if you just said, why, what's up? Oh, I'm on air. You're a newscast recorder? Oh, have I got a suit for you? Right. I'm selling into your moment. I'm getting excited about your life. I'm picturing mom going home and packing that lunchbox with those groceries. I'm picturing the fact that someone's going on a date and I want it to be the best date possible. And if I start thinking myself as a retail curator, impresario, even the youngest people can relate to the fact that it's about a much bigger thing. I always use this when I'm doing training in retail. Think of yourself as the fairy godmother. You don't get to go to the ball, but you just get to dress Cinderella.
And that brings us back to that transformation from the girl who has to sweep out the kitchen to the belle of the ball.
Yeah, and the transformation is everything. I mean, everybody that comes into your store has a story. They're there for a reason. They might just be there to shop, but there's something that's going to happen in their life that they need that product or service for. So you're enabling their life. You're transforming them. You're helping them get to where they want to go. So you move away from transaction, which honestly an orangutan can use a cash register. You don't need math skills anymore, and get to the point of what can I do to help you get to where you want to go. And when you do that, you come home at the end of the day feeling my job had more purpose. Even if it was $15 an hour, minimum wage job, you're going to feel better about it because you're going to start picturing I've helped people do things, be things, address somebody. Somebody came in H&M, $60 disposable fashion, but they walk away going, I bet you that person's going to rock that concert tonight. And that's the difference between transaction to transformation.